Hi guys, welcome back to Stumpy Grump Scale Speed Shop. I've got the second update ready on the AMT 1955 Chevy Bel Air for the Blue Ox Model Shop Street Machine group build. This one's going to cover basically the priming. What I did is I got all the parts prepped and washed and cleaned and everything like that, scribed the panel lines and everything. This one is going to cover the primer, and I'll be using Stynylrez neutral primer for most of it, with a little bit of Stynylrez black primer. And I'm gonna have a quick little show you how what the wheels look like after I sprayed the Molotow chrome on them too. They're still gonna have to be detailed, but that's coming up. So hope you enjoy it and get something out of it. But let me get it turned around and get started. Hi guys, so okay, it is primer time, and what I'm going to do, I have my Stynylrez neutral primer. I got it upside down so it gets some of the stuff that builds up at the bottom here. Shake it really good. Shake it for about a good minute there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up enough to where I have more than enough. So I'm going to do the body, all the body parts, interior parts, and the chassis. Not decided what I'm going to do with the engine yet. I think I'll probably do that in neutral too. Doesn't really matter. It's what I have the most of. It doesn't really matter what I'm going to use for the primer coat, considering the color that I'm using. I'm using brown, so neutral should go good over it. Under it should go good over neutral. But I still got to get all my engine parts pinned and on their alligator clips for priming, but that'll be in a minute. Might not get that done today. I'm running a little bit behind today. And for the black primer, I've got my wheels and tires I got to get ready too. That'll definitely be tomorrow. Some of the chassis parts. So what I'm going to do here, got my rag paper towel here to put my strainer on. I use a strainer because sometimes the stuff gets dry, and I just pour a bunch in, more than what I think I'm going to use. That's probably good. You can see some gunk on the bottom of the strainer, so that would have got into the cup, it would have got into the airbrush. Just set it down. I'll wash that off in a second, but that should be more than what I need. And anything extra, I just pour back out of the airbrush cup and back into the bottle. I hate wasting, so that's what I do. Okay, so now we're going to get started. What I usually do, especially if you have the dual action airbrush, just push down without pulling back. I don't have any paint in the cup yet, so it doesn't matter. Push down without pulling back to help get maybe a little bit of dust off of the parts there. Pay no attention to lawnmowers in the background. They're mowing the neighborhood here with their big zero turns. But take the paint primer, pour some in the cup, and never pour the cup overly full because I always get it on myself. I wear one of these masks usually, and a glove. Don't like washing paint off my hand all the time. Okay, turn on my booth. I have my paint air venting out the window, so that's taken care of. Now we're ready to paint here. Okay, so guys, I am spraying this at 22 or 23 pounds of pressure with my Gallery GAD 39 airbrush. Okay, what I do is I push the stopper in. Okay, so it's not going all the way back. Probably about 3/4 of the way back. That way I'm not getting full on flooding it with paint and stuff like that. I push the button all the way down. I push it all the way down and bring it back. Sometimes I don't even bring it all the way back. Try and get it about halfway back so it's not just, you know, blasting the paint out. And like again, I said, I put the stopper at about 3/4 trigger, so I'm not going full blast anyways. So that's how I do the Stynylrez. Just a couple of light coats here. Just want some nice easy coverage here. A little bit of the interior there, it's going to show from the chassis. Part of the hood. I'm going to paint a couple extra hoods here for this is the hood I'm using. Just prime up a couple extra ones here for color testing and whatnot. So. Kill those birds with one stone here. Old NASCAR hood that I got. Molded in gray. Spare hood now, the kit hood I'm not using. Onto the body. I do the inside of the body first. Sometimes I don't even use the stand for that. I use it this time, but to get the inside of it, sometimes I don't use the stand. The inside fender well is real good. See what I'm doing, but we'll let that dry for a little bit. Okay, we're ready for the second coat. Keep going on it. And back to the body for a little bit more underneath. Doesn't have to be perfect for the underneath of it. Okay, so now we go to the hood, the top of the hood, the actual hood that we're using. Make a few quicker passes. And now to the body. And let that dry for a bit. Okay. Last coat on the hood and body. Okay guys, so flipping things back over around to the bench here, you see the primer on everything that I showed you. spraying it, everything, the hood, the body. What I did was I took 2400 grit micro mesh polishing pad, dry sanded it to smooth it all out. Just a dry sand. It took about 10 minutes to do the whole body, smooth everything out. If there's any specks or anything like that in the primer, it smoothed it right out. So that's where the body's at, ready for paint. Also, you can see the interior primed. I've got the door panels taped off. For the second tone, the dark brown I'm going to use, I've got my embossing powder in here for the carpet. That will be sprayed dark brown as well, along with everything else. The engine block, heads, and oil pan primed, ready for the body color paint I'll be using on that. Chassis. You see all the work I did to the chassis. It's not perfect, but I'm going to have exhaust and stuff up running through there, so not a lot of it's going to be noticeable. But that will be painted body color, and the frame rails will be painted black. The front seat as well is the interior, you know, ready for, I got to burnish these down a little bit more because I did this a couple days ago and just haven't gotten to painting it yet. But everything going to be burnished down again real good to prevent leaks and any, you know, any paint there. That's ready to go, as is the dash. I think I'm going to paint the dashboard body color. I'm not 100% sure though. And the steering wheel ready to be painted. The tires. I'll get a front tire and a back tire out here. I used black Stynylrez Primer for. And I will just spray on some Createx Matte Clear to lock all this in. And then I will probably take a satin clear along the sidewall here. Maybe get a little bit of a shine to it, but not an overly shine. Not overly shine it. And that's how I painted those. I just flipped a clothespin around like that and set it up there. So you can spray all around it. I also got out my Molotow Chrome, dropped some in my airbrush cup. I did thin it with some isopropyl alcohol. I feel that that helps it dry a little better. You still want to be real careful touching it, but it will dry a little bit better and faster with the alcohol mixed in, thinned. At least from what I've experienced. And the front wheels. I just have to get the insides here detailed a little bit more with some silver to detail those out. And those will be ready to go. And then I've got some other various parts. The pulley system, the headers, the intake. I'll repaint the distributor cap. It comes printed on there. It's not removable. You could probably make it removable, but I'm going to leave it as is. My shifter. Once again, all this is going to be detail painted. Molotow Chrome on the shifter. I use Viejo Metal Color Chrome on like the transmission as I knock it over. Glad it's closed. On the transmission and what I showed you, the pulleys and the headers and the intake, I use Vallejo metal chrome on that. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now on everything. I'll show you the valve covers here that are just Stynylrez Primer on these. I'll probably just shoot some gloss clear on them and call them good. And then chrome out the breathers and stuff and try to chrome the 572. But that's where I'm at. That's what I've shown you as far as the painting goes, the priming goes. You saw the video earlier on, so hopefully that helped show you how the process I use and do. So that'll do it on this video. My next one, hopefully I will show you how I mix my colors and mix my paints. I'll be mixing up the interior color brown, and I'll also be mixing up the body color brown. So hopefully I can show you that, and then I can show you some airbrushing on that too, how I airbrush that onto the parts. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching Stumpy Grump Scale Speed Shop.